Right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys. Thank you so much for choosing Select SA this afternoon. And today, as you join us, we're sitting with an extraordinary and young mind, if I may say, who is doing the things that are making the pods to be done. And he is the co-founder and managing director of... I'm just getting an echo. Sorry about that. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, I can hear you on my side.
I do apologize for that. So I was saying that I'm joined by an extraordinary and young mind who is doing amazing things out there in his communities. And he is the co-founder and managing director of Ghetto Tech Innovations. And he's also a self-taught web developer. So just sit still as we have a chat with him this afternoon. Feel free to share the stream and like, and would love to hear from you, and we'll just try our best to check your comments. And if you guys have any questions for him, we'll just get into that. So Diketso, how are you?
I'm well, thanks. And how are you, Andy?
I'm doing all good, all good. So just maybe, let me just take you back a bit. How is it like for you growing up in the streets of Tembisa? And what has that taught you this far?
Well, I grew up in the township Kasi, so I grew up in Tembisa, and I grew up more Mitran. So I moved from Tembisa Komaibuya, and I moved to Kalfontein. So growing up in the streets of the ghetto, I always say we are from the ghetto because now, you grow up around dealers, around people who are selling, and you get to see your mind, and most people adopt. I don't know if it's a right way of doing it, but I also managed to adopt in terms of business, also managed to own a car wash while I was still in grade 10. And it was very big one. So it was a very big car wash, which it washed most of the cars around Kasi. So I would say maybe I got those skills from there. So yeah.
Great stuff. And just to find out as well, is growing up in Kasi, how did that inspire the brand that you have now, Ghetto Tech Innovations, and how did that come about?
Okay, so Ghetto Heroes Tech Innovation is a non-profit organization, which was it's actually breaking a gap between the fourth industrial revolution, coding, science, innovation, and the South African kids located in disadvantaged communities. So how it came about, it was the lack of information. I've seen a gap between the lack of information in terms of the 4IR and how information it's not well being served around our communities. So let me just say, I'm also part of the people with experience. I can also relate because I also did not manage to get into coding while I was still growing up until I was about 17, something like 17. So after 17 years old, when I started coding, I wanted to be a web developer, a website, do apps and games. But then it came about when I thought, okay, let me just transfer these skills into other people and other young people who might be needing them in terms of, because we can see that it is the current era. People will be losing their jobs due to the lack of computer skills. So now, since I'm able to transfer those skills, I have those skills, let me just transfer them into communities. And so far, we have transferred the coding skills into different communities, more than 2,000 people and the young people. And yes, that's how Ghetto Heroes came about.
Wow, that is amazing. And now I just want to find out, on your interview on Metro this past week, if I'm not mistaken, you mentioned that you never actually took maths and science in school. So how did it all come about that you found yourself doing this?
So in grade 9, I wasn't really good in maths. And I was only good in technology, but my maths, I don't know if it was the reason, probably the reason was because I was young. I never took it serious. So when I wanted to go to grade 10, I wanted to do science, but then I couldn't because my maths wasn't really good. The levels were really low. So I took history, geography, and maths literacy and tourism as well, because I also wanted to be an author and also a journalist. So as I wanted to be a journalist in grade 10, I remember when the teacher came by, they wanted science learners to actually participate in robotics, but I forced myself in. So I actually managed to go into the robotics team. I was a programmer for the robots in my high school days. So that's when I started getting interested in coding and actually trying by all means to do some research.
Wow, that is really inspirational. And I really salute you on my end for just, breaking the stigma, because as far as I know, for someone to be involved in, in coding, they really have to be, a science genius and a maths genius. You just really, are going to help a lot of people out here. And maybe let's just try and break it down for our viewers. What is coding?
So coding is actually giving a set of instructions which tells a computer what to do. So a computer, when it's like that, it's only a hardware, which is a hardware, we can describe it as something you can kick. So a physical structure, but it doesn't know what to do. When you click on each and every button, it doesn't know that it should show that A on the screen, or it should turn on. When you move your mouse, it doesn't know that the cursor should move on the screen. So us as coders, we instruct each and every little detail and tell a computer what to do. Even also, so does a website. When you click on this button, it should do this. When you click on this one, it should do this. So that is coding. You are giving a set of instruction to a machine.
Wow, that is really amazing. And I just also want us to chat about the work that you're doing, the foundation that you have. Which schools have you guys been working with, and are you just only for now restricted to your Kasi, or you just expanding?
So in terms of schools, we weren't really focused into schools. We were focused into communities, so that people who are out of school, they can also participate in our programs. So also we actually went to public halls and we booked those public halls, and we hosted our Bring Your Own Gadget coding programs. So people would bring their own gadgets, their own laptops. We provide them with internet and curriculum, and we start coding. So currently we managed to expand. We are not really restricted to our location. So for people who like to participate, they can just go into our website, because we also have got an online portal where people can actually study online. They can study coding online. So I remember last week I'm from Soweto. I was tutoring in Soweto a young boy who's doing grade 11. So he was also doing it online. So after that, he managed to actually continue by himself.
Well, that is amazing. And just tell us, because I believe that you have a team of people that you are working with. You're not doing this by yourself. How has it been, working with everyone, and how is the response, of all these students that are, that you guys are taking in? How is it like?
So I would say I've got a really, really committed team with great skills. So I would say 90% of them also have those coding skills. So in terms of the participants have really given us a great response, because we really saw them around during the lockdown era, where they would contact us and they would really want to know how coding, when are our next programs. Yes.
Well, that is amazing. And how is the response, of the people in the communities? Are they really, getting this idea of coding? Do they really understand? Are they excited about this new thing? How is it like in the communities when you touch base with the people?
So I would say in terms of township, whenever you are mentioning the 4IR, something tech, you are really looking into a very controversial topic, where people would really come out with negative ideas on we are going to lose our jobs, 5G is causing all these sicknesses, which they really do not have any proof about that. So that shows that there's still lack of information. We really have got a long way to go in terms of that, because most of the public schools do not have resources to teach technology. They can only teach theory. So now they really need equipment in order for them to learn coding. So we really have got a long way to go. But then the people who are actually adopted to the tech, who are now tech savvy, I would say they are trying by all means to actually make sure that these skills are exposed.
Wow, that is amazing. And just on that note, how would you say that we could maybe just educate the public as to when it comes to things like the fourth industrial revolution? Because as a nation, I believe that we are still a bit behind, when we compare us to other nations, as to understanding what is really happening, understanding that everything is just moving digital. How would you say we could best educate people as, to just make them aware that the world is changing and we need to adopt to new things and catch up with the rest of the world?
So in terms of that, I really think we need to start them young. So, our current, the younger people learn faster than the older ones currently. They can, you can find that a 7-year-old is even able to unlock a cell phone without even knowing how to read English. They can go into games without even knowing how to read. So we need to start them while they are young, because our current era, I would say it has passed, and we have got a long way to go. And if we're going to focus on them, we're going to lose it. Rather focus on the younger ones, which will be able to transfer the knowledge to the upcoming one. And also media can really play a significant role in terms of that. So media really have to advertise, tell people the information they need to know, relevant information about technology as well. Yes.
Wow, that is great. I think you just really raised an important point right there. And just, with the work that you're doing, would you really say that, our government, is doing enough in terms of assisting to raise, awareness as, as far as the fourth industrial revolution is concerned, and, just, teaching people the importance of having coding skills as to catch up with the rest of the world?
So the government is trying by all means, and we as a non-profit organization, we are also trying by all means to make sure that we assist them as well. But exposure and knowledge is not really enough. In terms of technology, people don't need theory; they need skills, and skills mean you having experience. By getting experience, meaning you need laptops, you need gadgets, you need robots, you need equipment to do those. So now if in school they are teaching you technology only on a book, you can only know a book, but you won't be interested because you don't even know what they are talking about. So let me just say, in terms of the exposure in township, we're still lacking, and private school, yes, they are adopting. And now, if you are living in township, you are living about most of the percentage with people. Remember, township is overcrowded, and if you are leaving them behind, it means you are now leaving most of South Africans behind. So yes, in terms of I would say they are giving it exposure, but not the skills, because public schools really need laptops. They really need those gadgets, tablets. They really need computers, robot equipment, and other things as well.
Wow, that is amazing. That is really amazing. You guys are really doing amazing work there with the rest of your team. And I just now want us to chat about how did the online mall start? What was the idea behind it?
So the online mall started when I was unemployed. So I decided that let me start selling products like Avon, Tupperwares, and Bushes, and other products as well. So when I was selling them, I realized that I'm not the person who can actually go door to door, busy telling people to do their bookings, and also as well. Uh, go house to house and tell people to do their booking. So I've got the skills which I can use online. So I know about e-commerce websites. I know how to code. So I decided that since I have those skills, let me utilize those skills. Created a small website where people would actually book, buy products from me on an easier way with automated invoices and other things as well, security as well, and it's time saving, less queue, less energy being used. So as I was doing that, I realized that most of the township businesses do not have e-commerce websites. They don't have the knowledge in terms of the coding as well. So when I looked onto it, analyzed it as well, I looked and I checked that most of the township businesses do not actually generate much income to actually sustain their websites, their web developers. They cannot be able to sustain those things. So let me share my online portal with other businesses as well. So the online portal, the online mall came about as I wanted to share different businesses, expose them to the world, and actually give the world an easier way to support local businesses. I mean, somebody in Eastern Cape cannot know that I in Tembisa am selling a t-shirt. They can't go each and every street in Tembisa trying to support my business. So the online mall is where people can meet on an easier space and find everything there.
Wow, there is really a genius idea right there. We're looking at the times that we're living in currently, and now everyone is just trying to survive post-COVID. And I've just been observing how everyone has just been trying not to go to malls for shopping because they're afraid that they might actually contact the virus. And having such a platform as an online mall is really giving great exposure to all those small business owners. And how do you guys then connect with these small business owners so that you guys can actually help them out?
So in terms of connection, I would say we are really getting a lot of vendors currently who are applying to sell on our portal due to these radio interviews, newspaper interviews, and magazines as well. And we are also looking into going into these small township township. Let me just say township uplifting businesses. People with more connection, the leaders of communities, with whom can refer us to these vendors and businesses as well. So we are trying to get those database into our system. If we can get more people to sell on our platform, I really think we can get more people to buy also. So when you need a t-shirt to print, you don't have to buy outside overseas. The reason why people are doing that is because the information, you don't know who's selling what around your place or around the next province. So that is what we are trying to do as well. If we can cover up different provinces, cover up most of the local businesses as well into our portal, it will be easier for us to exchange money amongst ourselves.
Well, that is truly brilliant. And maybe I just want us to touch on how does the logistic part of it work? When you guys are advertising there on the websites and people are clicking, adding to their carts, shopping, how does the logistic side of it works?
So our mall, we really don't own the sellers' portals. So as a seller, when you register, you get access to your own admin side, which you are able to upload your product, upload your own product, charge your own amount, charge your own extra amount in terms of the profits, charge your own extra amount if it's required for you to charge an extra amount for shipment. So when a customer purchases something, you know how to sell it. It's almost like the way you have been doing it, but now it's being done online, and we have given you the portal to do everything. So you know your couriers, which you have been using all along. So You know how much you have been charging your customers. The only difference now is that it will be online, and now people would be able to do it on an easier space with a user-friendly interface.
Wow, that is really a genius idea. And do you perhaps in the future think that you guys might, also maybe when you expand and grow, maybe just incorporate the idea of logistics into it, or maybe it's just that to make things easier for the small business owners just to promote their business? Is that just the whole idea, or maybe you want in the future to maybe also include the logistic part of it, so that maybe just becomes like take a lot, or you just click and then they just come and deliver at your doorstep?
We're really looking into the logistics part. And also in terms of the logistic, I wouldn't say I'm seeing it as GH Mall owning all these couriers, but I would say GH Mall will actually do partnership with other couriers around different places, which will be able to handle and deliver into people's doorstep. So we're really looking into the partnership in terms of different couriers around townships. We have got people who are using bikes, people who are using motorbikes, also cars as well. So we are also looking into logistics in future as well.
Yeah, I think really that would be a really great idea, and it's just gonna even make things more easier and more convenient, for everyone. And on still on that note, how do you guys then, or rather, how do small business owners get in touch with you? How do they, how can they reach out to you and advertise their stuff on your guys' website?
So for everyone who would like to get in touch with us, they can just visit www.ghmall.co.za, or they can also WhatsApp us on our WhatsApp business, which is 081 461 2141. Also on our social media spaces, which I think our social media spaces will also be on the websites as well. So yes, that is easier. Everything would be easier to contact with us. And also our Facebook is auto reply with about seconds in terms of replies. So everything is mostly, we are trying by all means to make sure that everyone can get fast service as well.
That is amazing. And just if I may ask, do you see Ghetto Heroes tech innovations growing across the country? How is that looking like for you guys? Or you just still for now focusing, in Tembisa?
Ghetto Heroes Tech is the reason why we created an online portal is because we are trying to also accommodate the people outside Tembisa, outside Gauteng as well. We have received so many requests for people who want us to come to Cape Town, Mpumalanga, to also teach coding as well. So we created an online portal for people to actually learn coding online. So we are also looking into getting people who will be brand ambassadors in different communities as well, who would be able to represent Ghetto Heroes Tech, be able to teach coding to the younger people, and use the online portal with every resource that we have.
That is amazing. And what would it take for one to be an ambassador?
So it will take commitment. Commitment is the key. I wouldn't say somebody with tech skills, because coding is something you can just learn. So it's all about commitment. How committed are you to learning coding, and how committed are you to transferring those skills? Because the more you transfer the skills, the more you teach, is the more you learn. So I learned a lot when I was teaching more than I was learning.
So would you say that for one to be an ambassador, they have to go through the course, and then once they actually have then completed the entire training, then they would actually qualify to be an ambassador?
Most definitely so. So they'll have to go through our courses, and they'll just complete them, and they'll get all those trainings in terms of the physical training, how to train people physically as well. And I would say yes, from there you get your own community. You might as well transfer them to your own community the way you like.
I think that is really a great idea. And I just also want us to talk about the online Kasi station. How did that concept, it seems like you keep having all these great ideas in your mind. How did that station come about and how is it going?
So the GH online radio, it's a youth online radio. So it came about when I was still in high school. This is how I actually got most interested in coding when a friend of mine came to me and asked me that, Diketso, I want to create an online magazine for the school. And I did not have the skills. He came to me also in December. I remember I was still in matric. Around November, we were writing final examination. He said, I want to create the online radio for the school. Can you create that? So I went to the internet, did some research on how can one create an online radio. I couldn't find the information, and that's when I got interested into web design. Found out how one can create websites, HTML, CSS, and from there I couldn't go to varsity because now I did not do science. So for the past years, I've been learning on my own, learning how to code, learning how to code. So the online radio came about when I listened to soul music. I would say 24/7. So I've got about 900 and something R&B and soul. So I used to do mix my MP3 mix, upload them on the website, and most people who listen to them were varsity students. So now, when I was uploading those mix, most of them would actually come back and ask me, Diketso, who's the artist which you played on track number 6 on this hour or on this minute? So I would actually have to go back again, tell them the artist. So I did some podcast. I included my voice on giving credit to the artist, saying, this is the artist, I just gave you this artist, I just gave you this artist. So from there, I realized that, okay, let me just create an online radio. So the online radio came about where we actually promoting the talent around township, giving information which would be needed, relevant information. If you want to know about doctorate, even if it's after 5 years, you can just click on the podcast. Actually, click on the podcast, listen to it. And it also goes live where listeners can also participate on our conversations as well, give their own opinion. We are actually focused on the youth. In terms of the playlist, we are playing a Kasi playlist. We have got the young upcoming artists who are also in our communities. There's too much talent which has to be revealed to the people. And so that's the aim of GH online radio, to actually promote the talent around our communities.
Wow, that is truly inspirational. You are really doing a lot of amazing work, touching lives and just reaching out to young people. So let me just get this clear. So do you actually just connect from the comfort of your bedroom and then you just connect and just go live? Is that how it works?
Yes, that's how it works. We also connect in terms of the events. I remember 2 weeks ago, we were at this LGBTI Legacy Games event, which was occurring in my place in Maibuya. So we covered the soccer games, which were there with great commentators as well.
Wow, that is amazing work. That is amazing work. And how do the people rather in your community respond when they seeing you doing all this?
Well, I'm getting a very great response from the people, the support as well. It also goes back to how people know me. Some of them know me because they are artists, because I promote their music on the radio. Some of them know me because I teach them coding. Some of them know me in terms of business. So I would say I'm a social entrepreneur, part of most of the organizations as well, external organizations, the Lebone Rivoningo, giving mentorship each and every month. So I'm just trying to touch lives around the people and making sure that Black people can also get the information which they need as well.
Wow, that is great. You just touched something that I was actually just about to ask you. How does the mentoring work? What is it that you guys do? What do you do?
So Lebone Rivoningo Development, it's a mentorship development organization in Ivory Park in Midrand. So we meet every once in a month, the second Saturday of every month. So I would say every year we meet twice. Every second Saturday we meet from 11 at the Lord Kayila Hall in Ivory Park. So we give we talk to the younger people, give them knowledge on in terms of curriculum, also in terms of their life journeys, schools. We actually get to uh, conversate with them, get in touch, give them motivation, also know how they're doing in schools, in their home backgrounds as well, so that we as the older people, we can give them the information they need because we have got experience and we managed to tackle those problems. So we can come up with solutions as well.
Wow, that is truly amazing. And how do you just do it all at once? How do you just balance everything? Because I'm just trying to imagine, how does your day start and how does it end?
Yeah, you are right. Even one of the grade 11 learner asked me yesterday, how am I able to do
Yeah.
everything? I'm never even absent. I'm always ill. It's all about time management and priorities. So when you prioritize things, you know your schedule that on this day I've got this person whom I at this time up until this time will be talking. So now you need to write it down and make sure that on this day you can actually manage. If ever you are not available on this day, you can talk to the person and tell them that we can maybe can do another day as well. So it's all about time management. If you can manage your time, you can manage everything. I really don't think events fail. Events do not fail. Project managers are the ones who fail because they're the ones who are project managing everything.
Wow, that is great. You really almost sound like a super human being. And maybe I just want to actually find out, because you've been having these classes with students and just going through the training, and this will be I would say when you're having events and all these trainings. Have you guys maybe since we've been hit by COVID, have you maybe shifted online where you guys have these training, via Zoom calls, or is it just still the same? How does it work?
So we are actually having them online via the Zoom calls also, because our online portal is actually integrated into the Zoom platform as well, and also the Google Hangouts as well. So now I really feel like the current one, which is the online portal, is doing better than the physical one, because most people are actually working. Some of them are in school. So the online portal, you can learn coding at your own pace. So it doesn't matter if you take 3 years to learn coding. The curriculum we don't have, you just have to learn, write your test, and also get a certificate, our online certificate with a link and a QR code, which you might as well use to put onto your LinkedIn portals, your CVs as well.
And just on that note of actually just doing it online, how simple is the course? Or, when I start, do I need to give you a call and say I'm stuck? How simple is the course to follow?
The course is very simple because it was developed by me. So I know, as I'm a self-taught programmer, I know what is needed. How can one person who's not in school learn how to code the way that I did, and they can actually get to my level? So now the curriculum, we have developed it to be simple and precise so that even the younger people can also learn coding as well. And yeah, it is it's actually just simple. So it's simple for them to go on our online portal. They just have to visit the link, our website, click on learn, and it takes them to our portal where you can actually see all the courses which are there. Some of them are sold, some of them are free as well. So you can just do them as well. Write your tests. There's nobody monitoring it. It's also it is automated. So it is automated in terms of monitoring.
Wow, that is great. I just feel like it's something that I might also want to try out, because I'm all about tech stuff and all that, but I've never really thought of just going that deep. And because it always intrigued my mind. The first time when I saw the app for GH radio, I was like, wow, this is this is just genius. How did this guy just sit down and create a whole app that is on Play Store? I really found it very, very exciting. And having worked with people for so long, would you say that, or rather, what age group would you say really responds, to the work that you guys are doing?
The age group, let us look at the younger people. The younger people are very, curiosity killed the cat. Younger people are always curious. You tell them that the stove is hot, they're going to get burnt. They'll want to put their hands in there. So younger people always find a way to do things. You block explicit websites on their webs or on their Wi-Fi. You come across them also. They manage to unblock it and manage to go the backside of it. So younger people are actually fast learners, and they're the ones who are giving us the very great response. And I would say they're very, I just don't know how to describe them, but seeing younger people being able to navigate on a smartphone without even knowing how to read. You give a younger person a cell phone, they can navigate to a camera. They know this is a camera, this is a game, this is where you send WhatsApp text. They don't even know how to read. The younger people are the ones who are giving us much response.
All right. That is great stuff. So does it happen maybe every once in a while that, you have someone in their late 30s just walking in your offices and saying, guys, I want to do this. How does it work? Does it happen?
Yes, older people also come to us. The problem with older people is that there's too much responsibilities. We cannot compare them with the younger people, They have to take care of families, they have to go to work. So it's hard to teach an older person because they do not have much time, like the youth and the younger ones. So we do have older people who also come in, but the problem is older people are also trying to learn computers. I mean, the basic part of computers. This is a mouse, this is a keyboard, this is a screen. So they're also trying to learn those because they did not have them on the past days. So yeah, we also have those people as well.
Wow, that is amazing. And how maybe is the experience, of just, taking them through the course? Do they take longer? I would expect that they take longer, but eventually if someone is actually dedicated, they always say that where there is a will, there is a way. But how is that experience of how do they receive the information that you share with them?
So older people, I wouldn't say most of them learn these skills to actually use them, because most of them are actually part of their jobs. So sorry about that. So they learn these skills to actually tell their kids that you can learn this. This is what you need to do. So they learn these skills so that they can also transfer to their younger ones.
Wow, that is amazing. You guys are really doing a great job, I must say. Just just bridging that gap, between the tech generation. I would say we are the tech generation and the generation before us. And maybe I just want us to talk about the importance and the relevance of coding, especially in today's world where we see the world changing and people are losing their job. How does, or how can coding and having the skills really assist in saving a lot of jobs?
So I don't know if I can say that is very intricate, but coding is a very fascinating part. And now, if you know how to code, you are able to get into most of the job spaces which are currently here. Remember, companies do not need people to replace robots. They need robots to replace people. The job for people is to improve those robots. Your cell phone, your apps, always they'll tell you on Google Play Store that your app has got an update. So it's a person who updated that thing. So they need people to update. They don't need people to actually replace robot. Robot can actually replace the whole company. Two robots, remember, robots don't even strike. They don't even boycott. They don't need money increase. So why would a boss, me as an entrepreneur or a CEO of a company, consider you as a person? So I would actually always consider a robot because it's even fast, doesn't go to lunch. It can even work 24 hours. So it is important to learn coding as well. So coding is also a bigger part, a bigger industry. When we talk about coding, we don't necessarily mean you can go create a website. You can go into app development, data analytics. We have got app developers. We have got also networking. We now, like right now as we are talking, this thing, your face is able to come here. You may ask yourself, how is your face even able to be distributed into about hundreds of cell phones at the same time right now, and it's even able to do everything, your physical structure. So this is, you really need to look at everything also, and also be intrigued by everything as well. How are these things able to happen?
Wow, that is very fascinating, and I believe that really, at this time and age, this is something that should really be out there. This is something that people should really be aware of, because it's very sad, when you see that, especially that we're just coming from COVID, because I believe that as a country, we're really so reluctant. And I would say personally myself, when someone just would come to me and speak about the fourth industrial revolution, I would just think maybe it's something that's just going to maybe happen a century from now. I really never, had the idea that it just might hit us sooner than we expect. And as we, have passed through COVID, we're seeing a lot of young people losing their jobs, and the unemployment rate is really, it really breaks one's heart. So, the skills that you guys have and, are willing to share with the rest of the world are really, really, really amazing. And would you say that people are really aware, and are they awakened to the idea that we are actually now living in the fourth industrial revolution era? Would you say that?
No, people are not aware. Perceiving in the context of South Africa, we might as well go back to the parliament. I would say 4IR is a word which is being used in the parliament to confuse one another in there, because most of them do not know how to explain it. So unless it's our 4IR commander, which is the minister of 4IR. So other politicians as well do not really know the importance of coding. So also to add on that, through coding, if you know how to code, we don't work with companies as well, like I'm waiting for a job, I'm waiting for a client. We work with clients. You are able to sit at home, work on your own. I can't remember the last time I signed a contract for a company to say I'm getting employed. We are working with clients. People come and say, Diketso, we want this website. I can make money to sustain myself. We're working with entrepreneurship. So in terms of everything, it's all about learning. Now I'm looking into entrepreneurship, business management. I would say also the HR, and also, you are able to get into different job spaces, different job positions as well.
Wow, that is really amazing, and I believe that a lot of us need to really be awakened into this idea as we're living in the post-COVID era. Honestly, a lot of us we found ourselves working from home, and it was really it was so complicated, because people had never really thought, even in their minds, that in 2020 we would find ourselves having to stay from home, and that because this was just a global crisis, if I can put it that way. When COVID hit the entire world, people were forced, restaurants were closing down, people were losing their jobs, and people are falling into depression because they're not employed. And I believe that coding, or the world of coding, really sounds like the salvation to many. Would you say that?
Yes. Let us look at other things as well. Every update, every upgrade as well. If we do not adopt all this information, we're gonna get left behind. Right now, we are looking at 5G taking over. People still do not know what is 3G. What was the purpose of 3G? What was the purpose of 2G? So people still do not know all these things, but they're looking into 5G. Right now, when you are lost, let us look at the how would people find you. So now 5G, it's a fast internet. So it's a fast network. So now if you are lost, we would be able to track your cell phone. We'd be able to track your cell phone, two cell phones which were near and we're moving on the fast speed, on the same speed. If we can track those things, we will be able to say, okay, this cell phone and this cell phone, at this time, they were on the same route, same space, same time. Now, it means this person knows that this person, they were all together because of the cell phone. So we need 5G. Now, if we are still using the 4G, the 3G, you get lost. Your cell phone signal is lost as well. How do you expect people to track your child? Because your child, the signal is lost. You can't even call them. So now let us look at the technology, the upgrade. We are looking also into IoT, the Internet of Things. We'll be having automated houses. We are looking into self-driving cars which will be able to communicate between amongst themselves. For cars to be able to self-drive, they need to be able to communicate. When this car stops, it's able to say, I've stopped, you as you, because your traffic light is open, you can move. The car is able to track down or analyze the speed that the other car is using. So now each and everything, this is too much information to contain. But the more you read about blogs and the internet, you will learn a lot, because I prefer my own learning, which is research more than curriculum. You just read that portion which you need. You don't have to read the whole textbook, the whole blog or everything. The one which you need, you just read it and you go to the next one.
Well, you just touched something here. You just said that it is so much information to comprehend at once. And do you believe that having coding as part of, of subjects, in school, starting from primary, what difference do you think that will really make, in the next 10 to 20 years to come?
So it would make a very big difference. Look at the younger people in China. Though they're not even reading right now as we're talking. They're busy coding. They're busy creating a multi million rand or dollars app. They're not even reading. I've spent my life in school reading textbook, English textbooks about Shakespeare, reading novels, which these skills are not really currently mostly relevant to me. I really feel if I was given these skills while I was young, I would have made sure I would have made something great by now. So now we really need coding. As much as we are looking onto people learning everything as well, they really need to incorporate coding as part of them, as part of their subjects.
Well, that is true. I would always think to myself to say, how do we really, catch up to great nations like China, when it comes to just tech stuff? And do you think that maybe in the next 5 to 6, 10 years, we would maybe see coding, just rolling into schools and becoming part of the curriculum? Do you think that would maybe happen anytime soon?
Not in South Africa. We are looking into making that happen, but as much as the people, there's still too much theft in schools, where people steal computers, where there's corruption as well, people taking things to their own houses. As much as the government might try to do things, but people who are individual are thinking for themselves. So now it's going to be a long journey as well. It's going to be a really, really long journey to do. But learning theory, learning coding without without the skills, without you taking that cable and putting it in wherever the curriculum said you should put it, it's not even relevant. Telling me that we have got a fulcrum, we have got something as well on a textbook, and now I have to go back to during the examination, I have to rethink everything that I was learning and write it down. And I'm now being told that I've passed. When it's time to do everything that was being said on the textbook, I'm going to fail because now I don't have those skills. You are on mute.
So sorry about that. I was just saying that, that is really great. And I think that, platforms that you guys have created, like the online platform where people can just go and connect and, just teach themselves these skills. I believe that that's really going to help us to bridge that gap. As you've just mentioned that you don't think that, we'll soon have the curriculum in schools. So, I would just encourage a lot of young people to really, just go out there, find the information. You guys are here to help. And, the online courses that you guys have can really help a lot whilst we're just, waiting for things to unfold, because I do believe that one day we would actually have, coding as part of actually our curriculums at school, because honestly, the world is really changing. So the work that you guys are doing is just amazing. I just want to check something quickly. We have a few comments from Facebook. I'm just going to try and pull them. Just bear with me for a second.
No problem.
Right, I was just trying to pull the comments just here on our Facebook page. It is really, really amazing. People are just super inspired with the work that you guys are doing. So I just have one here, Sipo, saying, I'm so inspired and empowered. Thanks, Diketso. You true replica of hard work and determination, persistence works. In other words of Nelson Mandela, like slavery and apartheid, poverty is not natural. It is a man-made, and it can be overcome and eradicated by action of human beings. Unless we take action, we make a change there won't be actually a change unless we take action. So that is just a great comment coming right there from Sipo. And another comment that we have is from Cinda saying, you guys are better streamers. Loving the comment there than Parliament. Please help Parliament streaming. They freeze, they blare. You can't hear anyone talking. Teach the elders. You are an inspiration. What would you like to say about that?
Like I said, those people never really grew up knowing how to use computers. So we might as well spare them everything as well and tell them that we understand. Some of them don't even switch off their cameras. But yeah.
Wow, that is really amazing. You have been nothing but an inspiration, Diketso. It's really been amazing sitting here with you. And I do believe that our viewers at home that are tuning in and those that are still going to tune in were also inspired. And I just going to reach out and just get to learn the world of coding and, just take their skills to the next level. We would really like to salute you at Select SA for the amazing work that you are doing in the communities. And maybe just in closing, how is the future looking like for the foundation and for yourself?
So for myself, the future, it's something which for my role, I feel like my role in future would be me giving the skills, making sure people would come back and say, because of this, because of Diketso, I was able to do this, which I've already got those comments and those feedback as well. So yeah, in terms of the foundation, we are really looking into making it big and making sure that the younger people, the left ones in the township, get get to also be part of this world as well. They don't have to be left behind.
Wow, that is just amazing. And what would you say, to just anyone sitting at home, just contemplating, should they start, they're just doubting themselves. What would you really like to say to those people?
So to the people, they actually have to start. In terms of contemplating, they don't have to. Immediately when you think of something, do it right now. Do it at the
Are you still there, Diketso? I think we're just losing him. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
You just got disconnected for a second right there. You were saying?
So I was saying, in terms of the people who are at home right now who are thinking of starting how to code, they should do it at the same spot. It's all about commitment and making sure your schedule is up to date, because like you always been saying that I need somebody to help me with this, it's going to delay you because you don't even know where to start in terms of getting that person. But if you want to learn how to code, you just go to the internet and start. So you don't have to think of something, delay everything. So you just have to start at the same spot, at the same moment.
Wow, that is profound words right there. And honestly, you guys are just writing history. That the work that you're doing, I believe that we'll be seeing, your name in the books in history. Because honestly, the work that you guys are, just doing right now, it is actually the future. And so I believe that the work that you're doing is just really gonna expand and help a lot of people and just save a lot of lives as well, because as you've mentioned that there's job opportunities that could also spike out of this. So you are really doing a brilliant job, and we salute you at Select SA for the work that you're doing. Thank you so much for joining us, and a lovely conversation. Thank you so much, Diketso. We wish you the best.
Thank you so much to Select SA for the feature as well. And I'm just hoping you can continue exposing the young talents out there. There's too much out there which you guys can give out.
We will keep doing that indeed. And there you have it, guys. Honestly, I just feel like jumping to my PC right now because I've just been struggling myself. But yeah, we just have to keep improving and just becoming better as people. Thank you so much to our guest this evening. Thank you so much, Diketso. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Shorty?